Hiya, and welcome back to Sileo Tales of a New Dawn. The game that teaches us that, if, I have something on my mind, and I'm trying to remember what it was, because I think it was pretty funny. Hiya. The game that teaches you that if you want to learn more information about someone, you eavesdrop on their personal conversations. There we go, I came up with something. Anyways, let's hop right in. Around half an hour had passed since and with Russell having Around half an hour had passed since, and with Russell having finished the catering work, the two proceeded to load everything into Ty's car before he departed alone en route to the hospital to deliver the fruits of their labor. Russell had instead been instructed to stay behind, to keep an eye on things, or perhaps to keep an eye on me. He knew what I knew and wanted to be certain that I wouldn't. Yeah? I swear to God, Echo broke us all. Echo truly did break us all. He knew what I knew and wanted to be certain I wouldn't do anything drastic. No, stop thinking like that. It's a Friday night, one of the busiest nights in terms of alcohol, and our peak hours were rapidly approaching. Russell had remained behind as support in case things got out of hand. Did Ty really have so little faith in me? Had I not proven myself time and time again? He would leave Diego to run the place solo for 2 entire days, and yet I couldn't go an hour or two unsupervised without evoking some doubt and concern? Pah. Is everything, cool, my dude? You're totally away with the fairies, man. Russell's distinctive phrasing cut through the haze cast by my erratic mind with impressive precision. The spell broken. I turned to face him, delivering my response. I'm fine. Are you though? Ty's real worried, man. Good. So he should be. I don't know, you have plenty of honest conversations with Diego. This ain't like you, dude. Because you know me so well, you're quite clearly the authority on what I'm like, huh? Dude, Russell went silent, his face betraying a look of forfeit. I felt bad. Sure, I had reason to be upset, but not at Russell. He was just trying to help. I'm sorry. I know I'm being a dick. I found out about something earlier on, and maybe a part of me wishes that I hadn't. Uh-oh? Something about Ty, right? I'm sure it's nothing you and Ty can't, work out. You two were, thick as thieves the other day. It was totally corny, but, real fun to watch. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will figure it out. I'm not. You didn't hear what I heard. Long story short, there's a spot outside where you can hear into Ty's office through the vents. And when Spencer and Ty went in and locked the door, well, I listened in. Turns out, well, I don't know what it turns out, but he's in love with Spencer. He was real damn and clear about it. I feel like a goddamn side piece or something. His backup for if Plan A falls through. I don't know. Dude, no way. Ty would never... Come on, Russell, give me a break. You've known him for even less time than you've known me. And there's some things that just don't need any context. This was one of them. You need to stop being a dick to Russell. He's not doing anything wrong. Aiden, you asshole. Russell sighed, grappling with his disbelief. So, what are you going to do now, my dude? Finish my shift, wait for the opportunity to talk to him, alone. He and I are going to have a serious discussion. I don't mean to be rude, but you would be wise to clear up beforehand. Alright, dude, I'll, give you 2 space tonight. And for what it's worth, I believe in you both. You make such a great couple. I just know things will work out in the end. Thanks, Russell, but I don't think this situation can so easily be unfucked. About an hour after my conversation with Russell, Ty returned to the bar. His philanthropic mission accomplished for the year. Typical businessman, construct a facade through acts of generosity and philanthropic deeds in order to conceal your total absence of any moral compass. The evening, as predicted, had been fairly busy with the 3 of us all working flat out to keep up. They are... It was a good distraction from my own mind, allowing me to withdraw into something of a daze as I worked out the rest of my shift on autopilot, my mind dazed and numb as the hours ticked by. Finally, our patrons had cleared out and we finally shut up shop, Ty locking the front door and flipping the sign over to read closed. A successful evening, all told. Terrific work, gentlemen. Russell, how's your first day? It was, definitely eventful, my dude. Oh god, my heartbeat is increasing. Well, eventful is hardly a bad thing. Now, would either of you care for a ride home, Russell? Oh, no thanks, my dude. I got a couple of stops along the way. At this time, you know I'd be more than happy to make those stops on your behalf. Thanks, dude, but it's cool. I'll, see you tomorrow. Well, have a splendid night anyway, Russell. You did a terrific job today. Thanks. Catch you dudes later. Oh god, even the music cleared out. Okay. And with that, Russell quickly scuttled from the premise, actively working to put as much distance between him and the bar as was possible. A smart move, as I could only foresee the following moments growing somewhat unnuclear. Well, he was certainly a hurry. How very strange. Are you feeling any better, my dear? Hold up. I'm gonna, hide my character for this scene, so we can, see his facial expression. No. Ty unleashed a sigh that could only be described as reluctant. The silence between us was filled by the cacophonous wailing of my subconscious, my suppressed emotions in total disarray yet never quite bubbling to the surface. Aiden. I take it that a conversation is in order. Yeah, we need to talk. Ty mournfully seated himself at the booth closest to the counter and waited expectantly for me to join him. I took a deep breath. I did not rightly know how this was going to go, but I was not anticipating a happy ending, and it seemed as though neither was he. I keep seeing that little emoji right there. I'm gonna try clicking on it. KOS. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know what that was for a minute there. I took my position seated opposite to him, avoiding his intent gaze by instead focusing on the patterns of the wooden table. It wasn't the first time that day I'd done so. I couldn't help but remember the last time Ty and I had spoken like this. He had insisted that we take a break. 1 minute, I was happy, excited, eager. Then next, I felt a longing misery, a byproduct of my heartbreak. I suppose that in a way, our situation here tonight wasn't all that dissimilar, except for a couple of minor details. For one, Ty was anticipating this conversation. Perhaps he knew, perhaps not. I didn't rightly care, because the other key difference, this time, I was calling the shots and making the demands, and with those demands, I would accept no compromise. What is on your mind, my dear? Tell me what troubles you so. Bring it out into the open. I had no idea where to begin. I was of one mind to jump straight into the accusation, but in another, I wanted to play my cards closely to my chest, slowly reveal what I knew, catch Ty in some sort of dishonesty. And then there was another part of me which just wanted to stand up and walk out that door. After all, why not? It wasn't like I was expecting a positive outcome. This discussion seemed little more than a formality. After all, what could Ty possibly say? He had said everything he needed to with Spencer already. Perhaps this was closure, perhaps I just wanted to vent, perhaps. Spencer informed me that the two of you shared a drink this afternoon. I must admit, it is very unlike him to have done so. I do hope his company was not unpleasant. He is a rather abstract individual. I hope he did not say anything that resulted in this upset. No, it was nothing Spencer said. Well, I'm pleased to hear that at least. It was something you said. I see. Do you remember what it was that you overheard? I'm quite sure I can provide an explanation. It is your lucky day. You see, as I sat there in the alleyway, those words were seared into my mind. Not only can I remember, but I doubt I can never forget. The alleyway? The vents. I regret that purchase more and more for each and every day. I suppose that is what happens when you make a decision out of urgency without having done the proper research, but I digress. Please, I need to know what you heard. My voice shook slightly as I struggled to form the words. In response, I doubled down on my focus and took a deep breath, which I held for a very long time before releasing it slowly. Oh god, the thing's gone. Here we go. As my heart rate slowed, I took the opportunity to speak those awful words once and for all. I will never, ever stop loving you, no matter what. Well then, how about that explanation? I can see that all of the words you could have heard, those alone are the hardest to explain. Not really. Perhaps you could try being honest, for a change. Aiden. I may be a lot of things, a fool surely among them, but a liar I certainly am not. Then you should have no problem coming clean. So what was I? Plan B? A younger guy you lead on without any real intention to commit? Maybe I was just a pawn in some narcissistic game of power and influence. No, none of that is true. I swear, it simply is not like that. It... Then what is it then? I... Ty sighed, his expression a blend of pain and conflict. He shook his head, resisting how things had turned out, resenting the words he was compelled to parrot, perhaps even for the final time. I cannot. I simply cannot. I so dearly wish that I... No, you don't, because you know what is at stake, and you still can't bring yourself to be honest with me. You still keep me in the dark. My dear, what of your trust in me, your faith in me? Please, can I not... It all went down the damn window when I hear you telling another man that you loved him. The time for that shit is over. Now it's time for some damn answers. Please, Aiden, I know that you have no reason to believe me, but I meant it when I say you are the most important person in my life. You are the only person in my life. But I already know that isn't true. Now you're just lying straight to my face. Do I not deserve better than that? Of course you do, but you do not understand. Then do the right thing. Help me to understand. Tell me the damn truth. I bared my teeth at Ty. My fists balled so firmly that my claws pierced the skin, dripping blood slowly from beneath like sand through an hourglass as Ty remained frozen in silence, searching desperately for a solution to this conundrum. I'm giving you one last chance, right here, right now. Come clean with me. Tell me everything. Everything. If I think you're holding out on me, I'm gone. If I don't like the truth, I'm gone. But maybe, just maybe, the truth is the best shot you've got left. So what's it going to be, Ty? Sneaking everything to not walk away. I watched as tears formed in his eyes, running slowly down his cheeks before becoming lost in his fur, never to reach the table below. The silence continued on. I had been patient, but my patience had finally run dry. So that's what I'm worth to you, huh? No, you... I what? Don't understand? Of course I don't understand. You won't allow me to understand. Aiden, I know you have no reason to believe me, and I know, from where you are sitting, this looks really bad. I completely understand your anger. You have the right to be angry at me. You are right to be angry at me. But the secrets I keep could be a matter of life and death. I know this is hard to believe, and I know it is not what you want to hear, but please, this is why I need your faith. I have no other choice. Really? That's your out, huh? Can't tell me why I caught you telling some other dude you love him because someone might die? I can't believe you think I'm that stupid. It is the truth. Sure it is, Ty. The truth. Don't I look like a fool for believing it? I was finished. After all, what else was there to be said? I stood, briskly turning towards the door before I took several forceful steps, only to stop when I heard Ty call out my name. Aiden, please wait. I turned back towards him, seething in anger. I wondered just what could come spewing from his mouth this time. I hoped they would be the last words I ever heard him speak. Is this the end of your night? Of your employment? Of our relationship? Yes, to each and every point. I turned my back on Ty, for what I hoped would be the final time, with only the echo of my footsteps to keep me company. I plunged myself into the darkness outside, the streetlights failing to illuminate the darkness within. God fucking damn it. God fucking damn it. We need some cheering up. We need some cheering up. Bazinga bird. Definitely not appropriate. Exhausted and numb, I passed through Diego's front door and made an attempt to slip into my room undetected. The long walk home had provided plenty of time to wrap my brain around what had transpired, and yet I felt no closer to any real understanding of the circumstances. Wanting little more than to cast the night into distant memory through blissful slumber, I tiptoed conspicuously down the hallway, only for an old wooden floorboard to creak beneath my weight, alerting a weary Diego to my presence. After all, he had been waiting for me. Dude, what the hell? I sent you a bunch of messages. You never replied. I've been worried sick, not knowing what was going on. It's been killing me. Did the two of you... What happened? Well... Wait, start from the beginning. What did you overhear? I need to know what started all of this. Do you remember what you heard? Yeah, to Spencer. He said, I will never ever stop loving you, no matter what. No way. Are you fucking serious? Those two? What the fuck? Yup, I arrived late too. Fully expect I missed far worse. But how do you take something like that out of context? Like, that means what it means. I'm with you on that one, dude. So what happened after I left? Well, Tao was suspicious. I don't think he knew I'd overheard their conversation, but he knew something was seriously wrong. I'd already clued Russell in earlier in the night, so he got the hell out of there smartly as soon as the doors were locked. In the end, it was Ty who suggested that we talk. And yeah, we talked alright. And then what? What'd you say? What'd he say? I called him out on the exact words he said. He even admitted what I'd heard was hard to explain. Didn't really stop him from throwing out the usual misdirect bullshit, though, only to see what stuck. Unfortunately, by this point, it could have only been in vain. Kept saying shit like I was the most important person in his life and that he understood why I was angry. And then, the real fucking kicker, wait until you hear this, dude. I'm listening. He tried to make out that him telling me the truth would put somebody's life in danger. Like, what in the actual fuck? How the fuck does that make any goddamn sense? He's off telling other guys that he loves them, but he can't explain any of it without fucking killing somebody or some crap. Seriously? He said that? Seriously, he said that. What in the actual... What'd you do after he fed you that line? Well, long story short, Russell will be replacing me. And I guess one of these days I'll find a replacement for Ty too. I never want to see him again. Fuck, dude. Man, I don't believe this. I can't believe it. I never thought Ty was that sort of guy. So what are you going to do now? What's the plan? I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I've been kind of preoccupied in the present. I've got you sorted in the meantime, okay, man? Roof over your head, food in your belly. I've got you. Take as long as you need. Thanks, Diego. I guess I need to have a serious think about everything. Just when I thought I knew where I was going and what I was doing, this happens. I can't believe my luck, or perhaps my own gullibility. On the upshot, this only adds to the mystery. Excuse me? Spencer, dude, Spencer. Ty's over here telling this creepy-ass guy he loves him, saying to you he can't spill the beans without someone dying. And what about those expensive-ass drinks? Where'd he get that kind of money? Honestly, Diego, I don't know if I care anymore. Ty can do whatever the hell he likes. He can do Spencer for all I care. Do him until the cows come home. I'm done with all of this shit. It just ain't worth it. But dude, with all the shit he's put you through, you have to follow through. If you don't get answers, the unknown will haunt you for the rest of your days. I don't know if I care. Suddenly my phone began to ring. I rolled my eyes at Diego. What's the bet this is Ty with some fresh bullshit to sling my way? Place your bets now, I guess. I retrieved my phone and looked at the screen, surprised to instead see Dom's face on the incoming call display. Huh? Dom? At this hour? Dom? Maybe he knows something. Pick it up. I groaned. I still didn't give a shit, but I supposed I felt a little bad knowing all of the effort Dom had been putting in. I answered the call. Dom? Hey, Aiden, I'm not waking you, am I? No, I, just got home from work. I take it you didn't learn anything from Spencer's visit? Oh, no, we kept our distance, just like you said. Good, because we might not need to take any risks after all. What? Why? Eureka! Eureka? Well, maybe not. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Still, it's something pretty damn interesting I've chanced upon. What is it? Okay, so I found something that, as far as I can tell, shouldn't exist. It's a real photograph from the founding of Woodcrest. I know you guys didn't grow up here, so you wouldn't know. But in school, they told us there were no surviving photos. Well, what about sitting here begs to differ. Who knows? I guess maybe it's a fake. Maybe it's some other town's founding and they've just changed up the names. But I found it in the city archive, buried real deep among a sea of useless crap. You know, Dom, you're really good at setting up these little tales of discovery, but really bad at actually delivering the relevant bit. I guess you've got a point. Well, I could tell you, but trust me, you're going to want to see it. Let me guess, another food court meetup so Diego can be grumpy about waking up before midday? If you want, or I could just send it to your phone right now. Oh, yeah, do that. Sending it now. Is Diego with you? He is. Put me on speaker and show him too. I want to hear what he thinks. Roger that. At least we're kind of back to normal. I placed Dom on speaker just as the photo came through. I shifted into a position where Diego could easily see my phone. Then I opened the notification. There it was. An old photo of Woodcrest's founding, just as Dom has said. But there were many small details that could have been picked up on, but both Diego's gaze and mine were immediately captured by one specific man captured in the photograph. Dude, is that... The name on the bottom reads I don't know how to read that.
Self-voicing enabled. Aiden, the name on the bottom reads Sebastian du Viewmont.
That's a name. That's a name? What is that language? Yeah, I've been racking my brain trying to figure that out myself. Definitely a foreign name. Kind of reminds me of ancient Syrian, but looks just like him though, right down to the fancy clothes. Kind of looks a bit older though. Perhaps Sebastian is another of Spencer's ancestors? After all, did you notice ignoring the middle words, the initials SN? Yo, no way. Too weird to be a coincidence at this point. They have to be connected somehow, and Spencer's money, his connections to the government, it kind of makes sense when you think about it. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get busy trying to link Sebastian to Solomon and Spencer somehow. I have a good feeling about all of this. Good spotting, Dom. Thanks. Oh, hey, before you go, what's up? Well, it looks like I will be going to the hot springs tomorrow after all. Axel is coming in, well, so is Russell. Axel would feel more comfortable if there were more of us going, you understand. Yo, did the stream, like, shit itself for a second? Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. And we're back. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but like, my computer fucking died. It didn't die. It's still up. No, the stream just fucking died. Man, next thing you know, it's one big orgy. I'm gonna steer clear, thanks. Sounds way too gay for my liking. I have lost the will to even argue the point with you, Diego. I take it he can count on you to come, Aiden? Hot spring, in the company of my friends, sounded like a fantastic excuse to take my mind off, well, everything. I'm down. Might even do me some good. Great, I'll see you tomorrow then. Thanks for the photo, Dom, and the invite too. Thanks, Dom. Specifically for the first one, though. My pleasure. Good night. With the call having ended, Diego and I stood staring at the picture still on my screen, wondering just what to make of it all. So, how about now then? What do you mean? Still want to just leave it, pretend it never happened? Come on, your mystery senses must be tingling like crazy. This shit is exciting. Come on, I know you're curious, and it's like I said, better to put in the legwork now than spend the rest of your life wondering. Fine, I guess you're right, and you know, I feel like we're getting closer. I guess I want to know why this shit had to happen. Yes, I knew you'd come around. I'm gonna, like, refresh this browser page. We're gonna uncover both Ty and Spencer's secrets, whether they like it or not. I sure hope so. You're right, I have to see this through. That's a spirit. You know, you're taking this whole thing surprisingly well. You don't actually seem that upset. Yeah, truth be told, I'm just angry, disappointed, pissed off. Feel like I've been taken for a ride and misled, you know? Used like I never even mattered in the first place. Yeah, sorry for, like, the issues. I have no clue what was going on. I don't know, dude, you might be right, but this whole situation is weird. Hopefully we can find some answers. It'll start to make some more sense. Yeah, I hope you're right. Well, it's late. I'm tired, but you're tired too. Why don't you take your pissed off ass to bed? Get some shut-eye before you get naked in front of the boys tomorrow. Hey, that isn't fair and you know it. Heh, can't say I blame you. Shopping around for a replacement, why not take a peek at the goods up front, eh? Maybe one of them will impress you. You know it isn't like that. Heh, do I though? But I can mess with you another time. Exactly. Make us mess with you another time. Good night, Aiden. Sleep well. We'll get to the bottom of this soon, I swear. Night, Diego, and I'm holding you to it. Diego disappeared down the hall towards his bedroom, and I quickly followed suit, switching out the lights and locking the front door before heading into my own. I switched into my sleepwear, thankfully currency-free of this particular evening, and crawled underneath the warm covers. I still felt numb. Was this all there was to it? Where was the grief, the pain? Why could I only feel anger and disappointment? Maybe we hadn't been together long enough, or maybe I had somehow subconsciously prepared myself for this possibility and spared myself that grief? I don't know for sure. Perhaps in finding the answer to why it would happen, I would find the answer to this predicament as well. I nonetheless felt lost, confused, dizzy from the sudden and jarring crash in my momentum. And it wasn't even the first time in recent memory I had felt this way. But I was going to make damn sure it would be the last. I wasn't going to put myself through all of this again. But what was I going to do now? Yo, Aiden, you awake? Don't know what's going to be there. Diego scarred me. Day 14. My dreams came to a jarring halt as Diego's knocking tore me from my blissful slumber. I groaned as I grappled with the weight of my eyelids, desperately trying to keep my eyes open as I rolled over to face the door and permitted access to my newfound visitor. Well, I am now. Come in. Shit, I'm sorry for waking you, dude. It's just, well, it's late. Can't really call it breakfast anymore if you eat it past noon, huh? Hope you're hungry. In my freshly woken drowsiness, I had failed to notice the plate which had accompanied Diego into the room. Carefully stacked upon it, wobbling precariously with every movement, was something of a hybrid between our typical breakfast burgers and eggs Benedict. With a smile that betrayed his concern, Diego rested the plate atop my dresser before shifting over to the bed and perching himself on the edge. His thick tail brushed to and fro with an admirable vigor, disturbing the blanket which mercifully covered my legs, which were secretly and unusually bare. Despite being in the midst of fall, the night prior had been warmer than I anticipated. An interesting curiosity, I always slept better and with far greater ease when I was snuggled up in a thick, warm blanket. I suppose that in a way it was my version of sleeping with a stuffed animal or clutching a pillow. Back inside Oni, I had a portable air conditioner. Alas, it was sold alongside the rest of my belongings, so last night I stripped down, keeping my thick blankets and their assorted comforts. I just hoped that my nudity in such proximity to Diego would remain a secret, lest we have an awkward repeat of the scene a night before last. I got a little fancy with our breakfast this morning. I already eaten mine, cooked yours after, so it's fresh, and I can personally vouch that it's still good. Still can't believe you slept in so late. It made sense. After all, I'd switched my alarm off the previous night. My one remaining employer had not requested my presence, and thus I had the day off to do with as I pleased. Sadly, having enjoyed so much sleep, I felt groggier and more tired now than ever before. It required an immense surge of effort to prop myself up against my pillow, which in turn was similarly propped against the wall behind me, offering a semi-comfortable position in which to sit upright. Of course, in spite of my tiredness, the sheer hypocrisy of Diego's criticism over the time of my awakening has not lost on me, considering his dramatic performance the day before. While I could have merely let it slide, I was not content to allow any opportunity to tease my best friend and slip by unexploited. If I recall, wasn't your cranky-ass grumbling about being woken up so early about this time yesterday? What? That's different. It's not, though. It is. Oh yeah? How? It... Shut up. I unleashed a deliberately exaggerated snort as Diego grumbled I can't speak. In indignation. However, in a move very much unlike him, he then promptly just dropped the topic, instead choosing to pursue one that had previously been in the forefront of his mind throughout the entire morning. Hey, I just wanted to say, Diego hadn't even arrived at the intended topic before becoming flustered. Of course, I knew right away what it was going to be, and found it a little strange that, despite having had similar discussions before, he still found it hard to bear his more sensitive side. I hope you're doing okay, man. I don't want to say that I know what you're feeling right now, but I at least some idea, you know? What happened between Kyrix and I, it was different, but it sucked in a very similar way. And I don't want you to think that I'm saying that I'm making shit all about myself either. I've been called out on that before, and that's not it. I understand, Diego. I know that for you, that it's a form of empathy. Just not one that everybody seems to recognize or consider to be valid. You're trying to express understanding and sympathy by relating my experiences to your own. You've been there before, and you know how much it sucks. Yeah, pretty much. Sorry, I just caught myself doing it, and, well, I've been called out on it before. So I wanted to make sure it didn't seem like I was just hijacking the situation. You're my best friend, Diego. Have been for years and years. I know you better than that. But even then, you haven't talked a lot about Kyrex and about what went down. And you know you're welcome to if you feel the need. Thanks, stupid. Nah, not right now anyway. I've had weeks to process everything. You've had hours. So yeah, I know you guys weren't dating long in the right situation with the right person. I guess it doesn't take long to sort of fall in love, you know? The thing about long relationships is habit and codependence. You sort of become used to life with their involvement, used to them being there. They're such a big part of your life that they almost become a part of you. When you lose that, you almost have to rebuild yourself, filling that X-shaped void in your life. But the other thing about long relationships is that unless you're super lucky and find the person who completes you or some shit, your feelings tend to settle over time. And if things suck, especially for a long time, the hardest part is just filling that void, the unfamiliarity of life after love. You know, in the first few weeks of my relationship with Kyrex, if you asked if I loved him, I'd have said yes. Things were super intense in the beginning. I mean, maybe not all with the right ways, but I got caught up in all of it, and emotionally, I went all in. With you and Ty, geez, things for you guys were even more intense. I always noticed these things, like how you always smiled when you talked about him, even if you didn't notice it, or how much admiration you clearly had for him. I know that you did the same. You went all in. Even that second time after that little pickup, you didn't entirely trust him, but you still banked everything on him. I don't know, I guess it's often a big mistake, and one that you really only make once. One that most people make out of recklessness or inexperience. One that cuts you so deep when it goes awry that you might never do it again. Even for the right person, leaves one hell of a scar. I speak from experience. I was stupid. Ignored so many red flags, ignored my gut. I gave my heart to him, and it came back shattered into tiny pieces. Sorry, I know I said I wasn't going to hijack this, and am I on the right track so far? I understood what Diego was saying. I'd gone all in for Ty. I gave him my heart without hesitation or trepidation. I gave him my trust, or perhaps, more poignantly, my faith, all for what exactly? Was I just his plaything, a toy for his amusement? And what about Spencer? Was he also one of Ty's playthings? Were there others besides just he and I? Was Spencer even into that sort of thing? He obviously knew that Ty and me were together. Maybe that was part of the thrill? I know I'd gotten lost on a mental tangent. I had no grounds for a lot of what I felt. They were a product of my anger, of my disappointment, one of my shattered hopes and dreams. But a shattered heart? I wasn't so sure. It wasn't hurting quite like that. Maybe it never would. Maybe I gotten carried away and fooled myself into thinking that I felt some way that I didn't about him. Maybe my heart was undamaged after all. Or perhaps... Dude? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about it all. Honestly, I'm just angry. I'm pissed off at Ty, disappointed. Things were good between us. At least I thought they were. I just can't believe he has feelings for someone else. Yeah, man, I get it. I guess, I don't know. For me, I was mad at him for a long time. You know, technically, we were still a thing, and he wasn't upholding his end of the bargain or whatever. It happened slowly, so my anger grew slowly. It was way later on that I found the hurt. I say found because, well, it was kind of like that. I didn't think I was hurting or anything. I was just mad, furious even. I knew full well he was off sleeping with someone. Made my blood boil. When I finally dumped his ass, he left a few things at my house some time before. I considered, burning them or whatever, but he wasn't even worth the effort, so I just tossed them out on the porch, texted him to come pick up his damn shit. In the days after that, they just sat there. I knew that as long as they were still there, he would still be paying me one last visit. I was angry and numb. I didn't feel anything else. Once or twice, I caught my mind drifting to this hypothetical scenario where he'd turn up with flowers or some other gay-ass shit. You know, he'd apologize and beg for my forgiveness. I'd noticed that something had changed or whatever and agreed to take him back on certain conditions. And then things would go back to how they used to be. Things would be good again. I hated that fantasy. It was stupid, unrealistic. I knew better than that. Logically, I knew that I'd done the right thing. But, anyway, one morning I checked the mail and his shit was still out there. That afternoon, I went out to get some groceries and shit. When I went out the front door, they were gone. I guess that's when it struck me. His things being there, knowing that he'd be around, that stupid fantasy. My emotional state had been holding on by a thread. That thread specifically, that remote possibility, that far-flung fantasy. And now they were gone. He'd gone. There were no flowers, no note, no apologies, no forgiveness, no happy ending, and the last glimmer of hope had been extinguished, and I had been plunged into the cold darkness of reality. You know those action movies where they blow up a dam with dynamite or whatever? It was like that. It completely annihilated me. That was the day I realized it had been over for a long time, that I just hadn't come to terms with it yet. I cried pretty much constantly for days and days, never even got groceries. Ty had given me time off. You good? He did some shopping on my behalf. He even sat down with me and tried his best to help me out. Some time ago. I don't know.
Fuck you! 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 Fuck you!
I'm not mad at all. You know, Diego, when you get to be my age, it is easy to think that you have seen it all before. To think that your wealth of experiences over the years make you some kind of authority when it comes to living life. But I consistently surprise myself. Just when I think I've seen it all, I find myself treading unfamiliar waters yet again. Everyone is a learning experience, but you soon enough realize that they are never going to stop coming. I have had my heart broken before, a number of times in fact. I've experienced bad relationships, experienced messy breakups, unrequited love, all of it. You learn from them and think, I know what to do and what not to do next time. But next time comes along and those lessons are rarely applicable to those new and unique circumstances. And when it all goes awry, no matter how many times you've been there before, it always hurts just like the first time. But why? He never even liked me. He never treated me well. He was an ass from day one, so why the hell does it hurt like this? Why is this so hard? These things hurt like they do when you truly love someone, even if that person did not love you back. Even if the experience was only brief, and while the relationship may have been a mistake, genuinely loving someone is a gift worth cherishing, regardless of right or wrong. Regret your choices, your actions, and your words, but never ever regret your love. I hate him so much. I hate that I meant nothing to him. I hate that I was just a fucking plaything to him. He didn't give a fuck about me. He wasted nearly a year of my life. He's the reason I put on all this fucking weight. Not even an apology. I hate him. I know. You have every right. What happened to you was unfair. Love often is, I'm afraid. You know, it was not so long ago that I fell for somebody. He was not my usual fare, but there was something about him. It is hard to explain, but I found myself drawn to him. I just had to know more about him, and the more time I spent in his presence, the stronger that urge would grow. I already knew that no amount of experience could prepare me for every scenario, but even then, the specifics of this relationship were something else entirely. I loved him, genuinely, but it simply was not meant to be. It hurt as bad as every preceding separation, maybe even a little more, but I am proud of the lessons I took away from it. I am proud of the love I felt for him. I do not regret loving him, but I am sad things had to end like they did. And just like you, I subconsciously shielded myself from the pain, my mind scrambling to protect itself from yet another excruciating heartbreak. The hardest thing is, we never quite found closure. Part of me still does not realize it is truly over. There are tears yet to be shed, and honestly, that is somehow harder than the alternative. I know how you are feeling right now is deeply unpleasant, but it is a step in the right direction. You are on the path to recovery, to a brighter future. These things can endure a long time before we truly get over them. The immediate hurt might fade, leaving a dull ache which persists for a long, long time. I promise you, it will only get easier from here. All you can do is stand tall and be strong. The only way out is through, and be glad that this hurts. All that means is that it meant something to you, and that is what is most important above all else. Shut the fuck up, Ty. I know that his words are probably the last thing you want to hear right now. I'm sorry about that, but a lot of what he said really made sense to me. Maybe it makes some sense to you too? I ain't so good with that sort of shit myself. When was this exactly? A few days after Kyrix and I broke up, so not that long before you shifted up here. Why's that? I don't know. He never mentioned that to me. I guess it wasn't important. Huh? Don't think. Nah, he spoke in past tense with you, right? What I heard yesterday was present tense and future tense. The fact that I even told you that tells me it has nothing to do with Spencer. And say it was why couldn't you just tell me that? I mean, I guess, but thinking about it, he was still kind of vague. He didn't want to shift the focus, I guess. You work differently. You empathize by relating other people's experiences to your own. I suppose you could call it logical empathy. Ty's empathy is more of the emotional sort. He wasn't comparing, he was providing context for a statement. I guess. Oh, hey, that reminds me. He never told me what that damn Raven said yesterday. Oh, you're right. I guess with everything that happened afterwards, it kind of slipped my mind. It was kind of strange. Actually, if I recall, the topic started with the factoid relating to Ortega Firewater. Then it just sort of snowballed from there. Have you heard about DCD, Doomsday Clock Disorder? I've heard the name before. Don't know what it's about, though. It's this weird genetic disease or something, I guess. Spencer explained it better than I can. But essentially, there's these genes in all of us that have basically always been there, but used to be, switched off or something. For some reason, everybody's is active now, and eventually it'll cause us all to go extinct if we can't find a solution. Shit, that sounds kind of serious. You'd think people know more about it. Yeah, Spencer said something about how it doesn't kill anybody, and doesn't mess with the quality of life or anything, and nobody alive right now is going to see the end anyway. Out of sight, out of mind or some shit. Basically, skews the gender balance over time. Fewer females are born, more males. It also sharply increases homosexuality. Eventually even makes the species infertile, even although that hasn't happened yet. At least not to most of us. The Ortegans are apparently 200 years ahead of the rest of us. They're right at the end of it, and won't be around much longer. What the hell even is an Ortegan? I don't think I've ever met one. They're dragons. I've mentioned Jay, right? Apparently he's one. Rarest subspecies, too. There's a super weird pecking order thing when they intermingle which determines the species of the offspring. Apparently southern winter dragons are recessive or something, and that the other parent species will often take precedence. So both had to be southern winter dragons if they wanted the offspring to match. Don't know if that has anything to do with DCD or not, or if that's just a weird thing about Ortegans and southern winter dragons, but Ortegans aren't far from being totally extinct. And southern winter dragons in particular are numbered in the hundreds worldwide. Hundreds? Holy fuck, that's awful. So Jay is, kind of special, huh? He'd be special even if he weren't a rarity. Just wait until you meet him. But yeah, I never knew this until yesterday. He never mentioned anything. I don't think I'm going to raise the topic with him either. Fair enough, man. I gotta meet this dude at some point. But anyway, forget about that. Why'd Spencer tell you this? What does it mean? I don't know. He chose the drink, but I'm the one who pushed for him to tell me the full story. I guess I was trying to prolong the encounter. Hoping I'd learn something. It's probably nothing, just coincidence. Guess I'm infected. I'm infected with the gay virus. I don't know, man. That whole thing and what Ty said to me that day, I ain't discounting either. I really don't think that's anything either. From what I can tell, the thing with Spencer is ongoing. The thing he told you about was in the past, right? Yeah, but I still don't know, man. Anyway, you realize I was trying to console you and shit, and we got totally waylaid. You're the one who asked about what Spencer said. Shh! Don't make me take responsibility for my own actions. Forgetting about all this other shit, did anything Ty said to me help you at all? Again, I know shit he'd said is probably the last thing you'd want to hear. I just can't believe that one of those lessons he didn't learn was honesty. Come on, dude, that ain't even what you're supposed to be taking away from all of this. I know, I don't know. He said some good things, I guess, but all in all, I'm doing fine. I don't think... But are you sure it's not some delayed reaction or whatever? Ty suggested that's how he felt back then, and I sure as hell felt that way myself. Maybe part of you hasn't realized it's over yet? I feel like I'd know somewhere deep down if that were the case. You'd be surprised, man. I mean, I was. But I could be wrong. Maybe you are okay. Things were short-lived after all. And with that breakup, you had, I don't know, maybe you had anticipated this? Maybe you were prepared for it somehow. I don't know, man. What you're feeling right now might not be the full spectrum of your emotions, is all. It may seem like your anger is the dominant force right now, but you might be blocking out grief that's way more severe. So consider that when you're making choices, making decisions, and whatnot. Instead of acting on anger, remember that grief. Even if you're not feeling it, consider acting on that instead, because the actions you might make out of anger may be far worse. Thanks for looking out for me, Diego. I'll bear that in mind. Good. You're still going to follow through, right? Find out the truth about all this, you're angry about it, that's one reason to find out, and maybe The truth will set any repressed emotions free too. That's another good thing. Yeah, not gonna lie, I wish I could just rewind time to the afternoon that I visited Eric at his house after he dropped that stage light on his foot like a dumbass. I told you about that, right? Yep, you got talking about dudes you were into, and that's what made you go after Ty in the first place. Exactly. What if there is no fucking way that they just went meta? They just went meta. Exactly. What if I could load a save game? Like this was some kind of video game or something. What if I could just give Eric a different answer? Or maybe leave the damn rat to fend for himself and avoid that entire shit show altogether. How different would things be? Maybe there's alternate timelines running in parallel? Different versions of me dating different people. Will those versions of me be happier? Did I make the wrong possible decision in pursuing Ty? Jeez, dude, enough with the multiverse mumbo jumbo. Sort of crap makes my head hurt just thinking about it. We got meta for a minute. Sorry, it's just so frustrating that my time with him was all a waste. I'll find out his damn secrets if it's the last thing I do. The fact that he doesn't want me to know, that's good enough reason for me to find out. Damn right, my dude, we're gonna unravel this stupid mystery. My dude? Jeez, sounds like Russell is rubbing off on you. I don't know, after Echo, I'm not too surprised. I'm not surprised anymore after Echo. Like, Echo was a goddamn mess. Hey, for what it's worth, I said it first. He just uses it way too much. Are you sure you said it first? Maybe you've just taken a liking and want to be more like him. Maybe you're craving a bit of shark, eh, Diego? What? I ain't into seafood. Besides, fish are weird with their gills and smooth scales and shit. Besides, sharks have, like, whatever Diego had in his mind, it was clearly going to be a sharp turn in our conversation, judging by his embarrassed expression and his nervous scratching of the fur on his neck. They have, like, 2 dongs, right? That just doesn't sit right with me, man. What would you even do with the second one? Damn it, Diego, I'm kind of curious now. Damn it, Diego. Diego, you fucking suck. Damn it, Diego. You say curiosity killed the cat. Or whatever. I don't know. All I know is, I'm actually kind of curious now, so, where is it? Okay, this file. Okay, that just raised more questions. Echoes from the only star I got from reviewing was a dash for now. Yo, dude, if you like want to read Echo but you don't want to like read it, just go check out the playthrough. Just go check out my playthrough on YouTube. All the VODs are up there. They have like 2 dongs, right? That just doesn't sit right with me, man. What would you even do with the second one? Wait, do they? I'm telling you, dude, I'm sure they have 2. No way. I'm sure I realized that I too was about to guide the conversation in a rather inappropriate direction. But considering the topic we were already discussing and how casual my relationship with Diego had been of late, I proceeded with my statement unabated. I was watching porn a while back in Sidonia one night after work, and there was a shark in it. I think it was kind of grainy, my internet was ass in that apartment. Rats chewed the wire, so I had to go cellular. The reception was rough, probably because the building was old and concrete. Full bars outside, but only 2 bars with the router by the window. And then I was competing with every other Wi-Fi network in the building for bandwidth anyway. It was a mess. Hey, come on, get to the point. I want to hear about the porn. That's such a thing that's such a you thing to say, Diego. Shut up. Basically, I'm pretty sure one of the dudes was a shark, and I'm pretty sure he only had the one. Dude, seriously? Swear on my life, they have 2. Honestly, have fun with Carl's route. It's hard. Dude, seriously, swear on my life, they have 2. But that makes no sense. Why would they need 2? Everyone else just has 1. Okay then, dude, how about we make this a bet? I directed a firm gaze in Diego's direction, assessing whether his bet would be worth taking. I was certain I'd only seen one, and Diego was hardly a font of biological knowledge, and come to think of it, I could think of something worth the wager. Alright, Diego, let's make this a bet, but I have one condition. Hey, slapping conditions on things at the last minute is my shtick. Then maybe you could consider setting better examples for your impressionable best friends, eh? Here's my condition. If I'm right, you accept my damn rent money without any further arguments, and you don't return it. Still want to take the bet? I mean, duh, it's not like that'll happen because you know I'm right. And you know what? Seeing as I'm right, you have no qualms about keeping your damn money and never offering to pay rent again. I resumed my firm stare, this time promptly matched by Diego. Our surroundings were eerily silent and the atmosphere thick with tension. Hold on. Let me hear that. An imaginary tumbleweed skipped haphazardly across the ground between us. I faced my opponent, the roughest, toughest, mustachioedly dingo for miles around. My hand was poised at my waist, at the ready to put one between his eyes. Draw. What? I meant deal. Oh. Deal. Feeling like a bit of a fool, I extended my hand to Diego, offering to seal the deal with an officious handshake. They did, which Diego quickly obliged. As soon as my hand was unoccupied, I reached over to my phone, retrieving it from the charger and pulling up my browser in incognito mode. What are you doing? Settling our bet. Gonna find me a nice naked shark. Are you really that impatient? Just wait until the hot springs. You have to feast your eyes in person, my dude. With all the relationship chatter and anatomical skepticism, I totally forgotten that I agreed to meet Dom, Axel, and Russell at the hot springs. You're right, but I don't really want to get caught eyeing up Russell's junk. Dude, you only need a quick peek. Just trust me, I speak from experience. You can't trust the internet. Like, I didn't find out for years about how cats have barbs on their freaky shit, man. Dude, seriously, stop messing with me. They definitely have barbs. I mean, I should know. I did just get done dating a tiger. Well, wait, no way. He didn't. Nope. Has my entire life been alive? Maybe it's just some species? It has to be. Ty's the only cat I've ever been with. Dude, Axel! Oh, hell no. Now you want me to perv on poor, sweet Axel as well? Hey, it ain't pervin', it's for science. Jeez, at this rate, I might as well perv on Dom too. Complete the full set like some kind of token bathhouse creep. Dude, it ain't like that. Dom's canid like us. We don't need to look. We already know that we all have knots. Right? Wait, oh god. Come now, you got a face full of mine the other night. You know we might match up. But foxes, they're like not quite the same, right? They're different and shit. So are dingoes if you want to be difficult about it. But we're not that different. We kind of look like your normal fancy dogs. Foxes are further out still. Dude, I'm having a crisis here. You gotta look for me. I sighed with considerable irritation. This problem could be solved so quickly with a quick search. It hardly seemed necessary to find out in person like this. Perhaps the solution would be to revert my eyes at hot springs and go on the hunt for some videos in private later on. That way I could answer the question and pretend as though I'd done as Diego had asked. Then again, would that in itself be weird? Looking up porn stand-ins for all your friends? Damn, I hadn't even gotten out of bed yet and today has already gone off the damn rails. You know, if you really want to know, maybe you should come along yourself. I told you already, man, that's just a level of gay I can't handle. Besides, even if I wanted to, I've got work real soon. That explains the work clothes, I guess. Hey, is me working for Ty, is that okay with, you know, Diego, you have a mortgage, and while you'll be keeping my damn money because you're wrong about sharks having 2 dicks, that doesn't cover it alone. Ignoring every other possible reason, you should stick around, if only for the financial one. But I'm still in the books with old Lucas, you know? Ty and Lucas had an agreement where Ty had dibs, and for a good while now, it's only been him and me. So I guess what I'm saying is, even though you never see me there, I do work there, honest. My point being, I could tell Ty to take a hike if that's what's best. Lucas had been stressing like crazy lately, and besides, you working for him occasionally, He's just got a horny-ass rat and a hopefully knotted fox filling his ranks. He could use me. I'll be fine. Don't take that risk for me. What if you're not? What if Lucas' contracts dry up and he doesn't need your help? What then? You're only on call like me. And by the sounds of things, it's just him and the horny-ass rat today. He could have called me in, but he didn't. Yeah, but that's probably because he knows what happened between you and... I can never unsee it. I can never unsee it. Yeah, but that's probably because he knows what happened between you and Ty. Sure, you act like you're doing okay. Sure, you act all like you're doing okay, but he doesn't know that. You're forgetting the other time things went pear-shaped between Ty and me. Lucas called me in when he didn't even need me, just to keep an eye on me. Ty told me it was Lucas's idea too, not his. I feel like he doesn't know and doesn't need me. Besides, in other words, he has no work for me. I don't know, dude. Didn't you sleep through most of your shift last time around? Maybe he doesn't want to pay you to sleep on the job again? Diego, regardless of why I'm not here today, my point stands. You're better sticking with Ty, at least for now. God fucking damn it. The expression on Diego's face still conveyed uncertainty. I scratched my chin, trying my hardest to conjure up some kind of justification for him staying that he would find agreeable. Thankfully, I came with just the thing to put his dispute to rest. Think about it this way, Diego. We're trying to figure out what his deal is, right? Same goes for Spencer, who, need I remind you, visited Ty's bar just yesterday. With me out of the picture, I need you to be my inside man, keeping an eye on the comings and goings and looking for clues. What do you say, Inspector Diego? I should hope the task is not beyond your capabilities. Hey, you know it's not. Jeez, is your mockery the thanks I get for considering your feelings? But okay, overt fluffing aside, you've got a valid point. I'll stick around. Ty's been good to me and all that, and it kinda sucks being caught in the middle. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I guess I want to know what's going on as much as you do. I don't really want to make any big decisions without looking at the bigger picture, but no matter what, I've got your back through this, okay? You and me. We go way back. No matter what happens, I'm with you every step of the way. Thanks, Diego. I really appreciate your support. Diego smiled at me before blindly reaching behind him with his left hand and petting the blankets under which I lay. Incidentally, he did so in the exact location of my jump. I rapidly threw on my poker face hat, hoping he hadn't realized what had just happened. Things were about to get awkward again. Dude, you've gotten a little squishy. Maybe we should cut back on these breakfasts, huh? Wouldn't want you ending up like me. Rude. Aw, relax. It's my fault, really. With all the crazy meals we've shared, and I bet those dates you went on with he who shall not be... And I bet with those dates you went on with he who shall not be named didn't help much either. With a grin, Diego stood up from the bed and stretched his arms in sync with a massive and overdramatic yawn. Well, it's about that time. Ty messaged me earlier asking me to start an hour early at 1 p.m., meaning I should have left 5 minutes ago, but let's be honest, he's lucky I didn't tell him yet then. He messaged you? Did he say anything about, Nah, he didn't. It was actually weirdly concise. I think that's probably by design. A clear sign he doesn't give a shit. I don't know about that, man. Maybe he just doesn't know what to say. Maybe he knows he fucked up big time and doesn't want to rock the boat any further. Or maybe you're right. Maybe he's just an ass after all. Maybe if I keep an eye on him today, I'll find out for sure. You do that. Thanks, Diego, and I appreciate your concern for me, even if Ty doesn't care. At least I know my best friend has my back. Always, dude. You can count on me. Have a good day at work. We'll try. What a crack into breakfast, man. It's probably half cold by now. Oh, and enjoy your hella gay pool party. Oh, and remember, it's for science. For science, sure. See you tonight, Diego. Catch you, man. With Diego's departure, I once again had the room all to myself, reached over to the bedside table and retrieved my plate of breakfast, resting it on my lap. Digging into it with a knife and fork, I tossed the first bite in my mouth, unsure of quite what to expect. Damn, that's not half bad. Checking my phone, precious little time remained before I too would have to leave. I had agreed to meet Dom and the others at the hot springs at 1:30 p.m. Diego had left about 5 minutes too late to reach work on time, and the hot springs were about 10 minutes further away. I did the math. I know I had 15 minutes to get ready. I accelerated my eating pace, hoping that such rapid consumption would not result in indigestion, as I carefully strategized how the remaining 10 minutes would be spent once my breakfast had been eaten. I was of a mind to skip a shower, thinking I'd just be bathing in the hot springs anyway, but then again, I remember the camping trip when I bathed in the river instead, but still wound up with a bit of a fragrance regardless. I sighed as I tossed the final bite of my late breakfast in my maw before hopping out of bed and departing my room in nothing else but my birthday suit. Hopefully, Diego had left several minutes ago, and heck, with how naked I was going to be later on, call it practice. I couldn't believe that I was going to a traditional hot spring with 3 of my friends. As I stood beneath the flowing water, I struggled not to lose my focus, remembering that I needed to leave very soon. Water felt great running through my fur, but surely the hot spring would only feel better. And hell, maybe Diego was right. And this whole thing was a little gay. Who cares? There ain't nothing sexual about it. Except perhaps for Diego's insistence that I take inventory of each friend's downstairs loadout. And as far as I knew, each of us had an interest in men. Of course, if I was remembering correctly, both Dom and Russell were bi, which left only Axel, whom I assumed to be gay. But maybe he was liable to be flexible sometimes? Pah, not that any of that knowledge changed anything. I was still going to be naked with 3 other dudes. And what if it was super gay? Was that a problem? Perhaps a day ago would have been a seemingly distant time in which I was still spoken for. There would have been valid reason for objection, but last night, that all went out the window. I had nothing to lose and nothing to fear. So yeah, this was going to be gay as hell, and I was intent on enjoying each and every second of it to its fullest. Maybe with everything that had happened, a shot of gay like this would be exactly what the doctor ordered? Nope, not... We're gonna leave off here tonight. No, fuck. Ugh. God damn. Hang on, I want to get like a general idea of what's going to happen in the future, so I'm gonna like hop into the files real quick. Okay, so the illustrations, ties route. Hold on, what's this? God damn, pulling at my heartstrings. God damn it. I don't like this. I don't like this. Pulling at my heartstrings. I don't appreciate this. Oh god, I call it off at the right moment. Okay, I am half tempted to, like, jump ahead, like, and, like, play this on my own, just so I know what happens. I am legitimately half tempted to do that. But I'm not going to. So yeah, stay safe, have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.